Good morning. This is day 90 on my walk from Mexico to Canada on the Pacific Crest Trail. I am a little sore from yesterday. Did about 25 miles, but hopefully the body will warm up. And tired. I didn't sleep that great. Went to bed way later than usual. I still have a lot of editing to do. I'm trying to catch up. I'm playing catch up in that department, which is also a little stressful. And then, I just feel a little fatigued, but I have no water left. This is that creek. I basically camped right by where I got water from yesterday, and that was it looks like all the next water sources, you have to go off trail. So I'm gonna see how far I can make it, but I literally don't have a single sip on me. It's a nice quiet morning here. I guess I'm in the Plumas National Forest, and I have a long day ahead of me, so need to hit at least 25 again. I'd like to get up closer to 30, but to do that would be almost 6,000 some, or 5,000 some high 5,000 feet in elevation gain. I think 6,000 in descent. But the hardest part is that the toughest section comes at the end of the day. It goes from like 3,000, it goes as low as I can recall in a long time, down to 3,000 feet, but then all the way up to over 6,000, and that would be at the very end of today. So it's kind of tough knowing that's what's in store after walking over 20 miles. So we'll see how the day unfolds. Kind of sucks. I left that food accidentally, so I lost 2 lunches. So I'm having to space out my lunch meals a little bit more. I think I'm good though on what I've got, but it's definitely another minor challenge here. So I'll check back in later. Hope everyone watching is doing well and having a good day. It's definitely taking its toll on me being out here for this long, but there are some really enjoyable aspects to it too. And I'm looking forward to getting to Chester, which is my next resupply, because it's right around the halfway point. And I think that will be a really big psychological milestone to reach for me to know I'm halfway through this mission. I can tell already just how I'm feeling. I feel really fatigued, like sleepy tired. My watch didn't track my sleep because I forgot to end the hike, which is annoying, but no, I didn't sleep that good. Every day is hard in its own way, but I can tell today's gonna be a struggle, so I feel like a zombie right now, and I'm just starting out. So I went to bed last night a little bit after midnight, which is the latest I've ever been up on trail, I believe, and I am paying for it. I feel like I'm super hungover. I didn't have any beers. It's not like there's trail magic or anything, but I just feel groggy and totally thrown off, which goes to speak to how much of a schedule you get on here, more aligned with your circadian rhythm, which I think is pretty healthy. And yeah, I mean, usually I end up going to bed around 11. This is about an hour later, but I feel pretty awful today. I'm also probably a little dehydrated. Water's kind of a pain to get in this whole stretch. You got to go off trail regardless of where you pick it up. So I'm going to try to make it 4 more miles so I don't have to go through as much of a difficult side trail to get it, but I might have to stop sooner. But yeah, wow, I just feel so thrown off right now. I'm pretty behind in my videos. I think I'm just going to try to catch up some, take a day off in my next resupply town. Just so frustrating, but it's because I couldn't get them up in the last town, and just try to maybe edit them and get them up then. Just focus on the hike out here. The trail just kind of crossed this road or intersection. I don't know why, but lately I've really enjoyed seeing signs of civilization. I definitely like being out in nature and peace and quiet, but once in a while it's nice. Oh, PCT, 100 yards up the road. Okay. think this is the most concentrated stretch of blowdowns, the trees I've seen. Maybe leading up to Idlewild, but there's a lot here in a row. It just kept going. Like the trail is somewhere there. But like, look at all this. So I'm on some little side trail. Still, you gotta climb over stuff, but that's pretty wild. Wonder what happened here. What a weird sound in the woods here. Almost sounds like an odd laugh or something. I don't know what animal's making it. Tell you what, coming back with water, I don't even have my pack on. So I went down the side trail and it was pretty steep. Definitely feeling it from that. Man, this is reminding me of the desert just to go get water. Gotta go way off trail. Okay, I just got back on trail after going to the water and filtering it. It was quite a process to get down there and the time to filter and everything. A little annoying. I guess I've gotten kind of spoiled with having water available pretty readily on the trail through the sea areas for the most part, but now I've got to carry for just under 8 miles. I think it's like 7.5 or so of water. So I'm going to try to get to that next water source without stopping much. Like take a break at the next water source in 7.5 miles. See what we have to see in between. What is it doing? It's like standing on its hind legs too. Kind of cute, but it seems a little flustered, poor guy. This is honestly one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. I've been watching this thing for minutes now. It just doesn't stop. Trying to figure out what mountain that is out there, way in the distance. We can see some snow still on it. We are definitely heading that way on trail based on the map I looked at. It's just hard to know how far that is. But that is definitely the direction of the trail. Not feeling super enthusiastic about being out here right now. I think it's partially because I'm a little cranky because I'm tired from not sleeping great and going to bed later and waking up at the same time. But then also, it's just feeling a little monotonous. Like, well, I have to walk every day, 25 miles now. It's kind of, I don't want to say a little boring, but I think monotonous is the word. There's been a lot of dead trees and just, I've completely lost the trail. I know it's close to here somewhere, but I mean, it's just been sloppy and messy, tripping over sticks everywhere. Not fun. This is not my day, that's for sure. Not so far. Like, you just like don't know where to go exactly. So there's all these little trails. There's no clear path. So you gotta kind of just bushwhack and find your way. Like, I know that paved roads up there, so just trying to make my way over there. I think based on a sign that I saw posted that this used to be a closure, it's gonna be sort of like this burn scar kind of for a ways, like 20 plus miles based on this map I saw. That's speculation, but that's what I inferred from it. So the official PCT trail goes there. However, the PCTA strongly recommends taking this detour because this trail from these trees, there's tons of blowdown and the trail has been like wiped away and lost basically, but it's been cleared down this way, down this dirt road. So because the dirt road detour they're recommending, one, they're recommending it, but it's not an official mandatory one, but two, it's like over a mile longer. I am okay taking this detour, which is also where there's a water source, but that is kind of the recommended route given this what's going on here. One of the other signs or handwritten things I saw like that kind of from the PCTA talks about a bear fire. I don't know, maybe that was the name of the fire they gave it, but it sounds like there's some people working really hard to clear out this section. They got this dirt road cleared out. Maybe next will be the trail, but yeah, this is not the most beautiful part of PCT. I did here in Northern California, there's a lot of burn zones, so I'm trying not to be too bothered by it. Here's an arrow somebody made, so you can see this is pretty much where everybody goes anyways, because of trees being everywhere on the ground. I think maybe that marking is that of a snake potentially, or someone just took a trekking pole and was squiggling a line, but it kind of looks like a snake would have slithered through there. I heard there's some here. I haven't seen any since the desert. My overarching policy with this whole trail, as a more of a purist than most, is just not cheating, in the sense of not making it easier on myself. So, like, I'm not gonna break laws or sneak into areas you're not supposed to be in just because like the official PCT trail goes there. Like, no, there's like closures legally mandated, or like this one's strongly recommended to go around, and it's longer. The detour I'm taking is longer. I feel okay about that because I don't feel like I'm making this easier on myself. That's really the overarching principle, but kind of underlying that is basically every step of the PCT, aside from what is legally required to go around, or in this case, strongly recommended. I don't know if you'd get in trouble if you went into like the official PCT zone, but in the app, it's actually a purple line, which I believe is used for like official detours. I have to fact check that, but thinking back to other ones. So not like the blue line, which are like alternate routes, and those are the ones people often use to cut. So yeah, it's adds an extra like 1.3 miles or so to the hike, but it is what the PCTA strongly recommends, and somebody wrote a sign there who's a local volunteer saying the same. So I'm fine doing a little bit of extra work here. Some nice volunteer put these yellow ribbons here so people knew where to go and turn and not miss the turn. And also these arrows are back. I remember these from the desert, just kind of helping you so you don't lose your way. Okay, I just stopped here for lunch. There's a water source down there off of this road, which is like I think the official detour. I was reading comments. It sounds like it's basically the trail's been overgrown for over 5 years, and there like is no trail, and there's bushes everywhere, and it's like basically pretty impossible to navigate. So anyways, I've only done 13 miles in the day. It's almost 3 o'clock. I'm feeling a little lethargic. Just got like a 12-minute nap in, so hopefully that helps. I gotta make a big push here. I also just learned the guys that I was kind of been hiking with for the last few weeks, like obviously I get in front of them or they get in front of me, kind of leapfrogging here and there, but we stayed in Tahoe together. They're gonna be skipping ahead soon here, about 100 miles, because it's all burn zone, which is tough because I like them and it's been fun kind of hiking with them and seeing them in and out, but I can't skip, so this will probably be the last I see of them. I might run into them in Chester, my next resupply town, but they're getting off trail for a day because of an injury. So that was unfortunate news, but understandable. It's just I can't skip for my own conscience. So there's friends come and go on the trail here. I mean, I guess you keep the friends, but people come and go. Just like life, the trail is a solo journey. You're the only constant from beginning to end for the most part. Okay, it was a good lunch stop. So I've got 5.2 miles to get to the middle fork of the Feather River, which is my next place. I'm gonna grab water. I'm carrying a liter. It's gonna be peak heat, but it's mostly downhill, only 5 miles, so I think a liter is sufficient. I also just drank a bunch of water. So I'll check back in down the line. The heat is borderline sweltering out here right now. I mean, we're at a much lower elevation. I think 4,000 something, in the 3,000 or 4,000s, but it is quite a sight. Having some flashbacks to the desert walking on these roads. Some people like it. Like, I was reading some of the comments, they said these are like smooth miles. Like, I couldn't disagree more. Like, I can't stand walking on roads like this. There's rocks, you gotta watch out for everywhere, but on top of that, everything's always slanted, and it just doesn't feel like good for the body. Not my thing by any means. Looking forward to getting out of this. There's also very limited shade. You can see some of these tree trunks. It's kind of the most I've seen in a while, actually, but for the most part, it's been totally unprotected. And that was the end of the detour. So, looks like I'm back. That road had been cleared up until this point. So, you can see how messy it is, the rest of it here. All right, back we go. So I've been descending since this morning from around 6,000 feet in elevation. Gonna go, I mean, I had to climb up to that first, but I was mostly there. Maybe it was like 700 foot climb or something. I don't know. And then, but yeah, 6,000 feet. I'm in the middle of that now, heading down. Gonna go down to 3,000 and then climb back up from 3,000 to 6,000. So much lower gross elevation figures here, but net elevation gains and decreases are quite large, actually. I think it's spread out a little bit more than some of what I was used to in the Sierras. Like, I think this 3 to 6 is probably over 6 or 7 miles, but that's still pretty grueling. Like I said this morning, I'll be hitting that late tonight. We'll see if I have the energy to actually go up it or what, but that's where I'm at. So nice change of pace from all the burn zone trees. It's the middle fork of the Feather River, and this flows eventually into the Sacramento River. I was gonna go get water down there and soak my feet, but it's a bit of a climb down, and I have about a quarter of a liter left, so I'm gonna push to get the next water source, which is a creek in 2.5 miles. Just trying to be efficient with my side quests. But that does look like it's moving quickly down there. Probably be nice for a swim on the other side. It's 5:45-ish, a little before that. I'm 21 miles into the day. My feet are hurting. I am resting them in this cool water. Gotta clean them too. Just refill my water here. Have it gravity filtering there. I have not seen many people today. It's been eerily quiet again, just like that day after Donner Pass, heading into Sierra City. Once I got to Sierra City, there were tons of people that came after, so I guess this is how it is spread out here. But it's a weird feeling, and that I know my 3 good buddies behind me are taking a day off because of an injury right now, and then gonna probably get to Chester when I do, but then skip. Got a little antsy feeling. I don't mind being alone out here. It's part of why I wanted to come out here. I like that aspect, but what I don't like is why. And if it indicates that I'm at the tail end of anybody who believes they can still make it all the way. So some people are starting to have that, run the math, have that realization, and be like, oh, I'm just gonna start skipping. So that makes me a little antsy, but all I can do is what I can control. That's 1 day at a time, and 1 hour at a time, 1 mile at a time, 1 step at a time. So I'm trying to just stay focused on the short term and keep chipping away at this goal. Okay, that was a nice little stop. My feet feel pretty good after sitting in that cold water for maybe 10 minutes as my bag my water filter, but they're gonna be upset with me now as I start walking again. They're just put through so much out here. It's just under 6 o'clock, just before 6 o'clock. I am going to attempt to do 8 more miles. They're basically direct, straight uphill. It's a 3,000 elevation climb or more, basically going from 3,000 feet to 6,000. And camp at this place called Lookout Rock. It's supposed to be really beautiful camp and view up there, but I've got my work cut out for me, and I am definitely feeling it today. Beat up, my feet are feeling it every step. Thankfully, I just had a nice little rest. All of a sudden, I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes too as I'm filming this, but that whole time I was sitting there was nothing, so I was very grateful for that. There's a nice waterfall down there to the left, and like river of some kind or creek, and it's just a really nice, refreshing change of pace from a lot of the scenery earlier. And I know a lot of what was earlier is to come, for sure. It sounds like especially after Chester, but also I think, I don't know, maybe I got through the thick of it that those signs were warning about. But this is just nice to be in here, very foresty. I just looked up and I said, whoa. I don't know what it is exactly. Some nice towering trees. The fact that it's like this cozy valley, so it's blocking out the sun, which is definitely on its way down now that it's after 6, but still have 2 hours and some change till sunset. See, these are just classic. There's been so many of these blowdowns, so over, under, or around. This one's gonna be around. Or maybe over. Yeah, I think I might go over. Can't film that though. This is Bear Creek. I believe has the same name as something that was in Kings Canyon, Sequoia National Park, but this is one that is very much further north. Still eerily quiet out here. I just saw 3 other people all day, and I know all of them, which is nice, but 2 are behind me, 1's ahead of me. Just very odd. There's nobody that's been going in the other direction. I did see a couple of people in cars when I was walking on the dirt road, like workers. Didn't interact with them at all, but yeah, besides that, that's literally it. And one guy who drove by on a dirt bike on those roads, he came up real fast around the corners. Thankfully enough space for me to stop and move over and react, but it was borderline, could have been dangerous, I would say. So the rest of that walk, shortly after, when I saw those trucks and all, I took my earplugs out and I was just kind of monitoring, but yeah, very quiet. It's one of the bigger waterfalls we've passed on trail, if not the biggest, right on trail. I'm not even close to being halfway up, and I'm so beat. I had to sit for a minute on a rock. I just looked at the gradient. It is just under 500 feet per mile for the next 4 miles in what I've been doing. Which I know doesn't totally check out the math earlier I mentioned when I said it was like 8 miles and 3,000. I don't know. It's because there's a mile flat to start, or downhill. And it's probably a little higher than I even said earlier. So I'm so tired right now. It's hard to even film and talk. This is gradual up. It is brutal when it's nonstop across 6+ miles. Brutal. I'm craving a vanilla milkshake so bad right now. I think this might be the most consistently uphill and longest length portion of the entire trail. There's been like almost no flat or down breaks. It's just been up, up, up 6 miles. I am so beat after having already walked 21 miles before I had to start doing this. There's been so many trees in the way, blowdowns, hurdling over those or climbing around them or whatever. I still have over 2 miles to go. This is tough. Here's another view. It's just been so quiet. I haven't seen any hikers except for one aside from really early this morning. Those are just 2 others. All right, I just stopped at this creek for water. I've got 1.9 miles to go to get to the next water, and then 0.2 miles after that to get to where I'm gonna camp at the top of this Lookout Rock. I am totally beat right now. My butt's chafing, it's horrible. My entire back is stinging from sweat. My feet are so sore. I am a little cranky still because I've been all day from not sleeping great. And just absolutely just fatigued. And I wanted to stop now and rest and have dinner, but this terrain is just, there's too much. Like, these are a couple easy ones. There's been so many of these types of downed trees in the way from blowdowns, and I just think it's better to try to tackle this terrain while it's still dusk. Ow. So dangerous. I already bruised and cut my finger on one of these trees and just nailed my knee now. Shouldn't be filming when I cross them, even though that was a small one. But yeah, I just got to push through and get to camp here before it's totally dark. See, like, all these things sticking out when the trees are huge? Those are so dangerous. I've been so cautious to avoid them. There's so many over the course of this hike. But I nailed my finger on one today. And I just nailed my knee on one. But generally, I've been pretty good about avoiding. They're really dangerous, though. Get impaled. See, like, look at this. It's just, there's been so much of this. Plus the elevation increase. It's been a really, really rough, tough 6 miles. So I gotta close out here so I can get over this. Got like half a mile to go. I am so exhausted. Even though I've been having snacks, my body feels like it's eating itself. It's like screaming for nutrition. I feel like my blood sugar's low. I just gotta get to camp, but wow, so wiped. Beautiful view though. Even though there was no sun that whole time, I am drenched in sweat from the hike up, and now that I'm around 6,000 elevation, it is like cold. There's a cool breeze, light breeze, but I am getting chills because I'm totally wet, like my whole waist up, my face, my head, and it's cold. And up there is Lookout Rock, which is where I plan to camp for the night.
Do you have a sleeping bag or a quilt?
I have a sleeping bag, but I actually end up using it like a quilt most nights because it's like I sleep on my side, so I want to turn my legs.
Yeah.
So I basically unzip it, almost like the Enlightened Equipment one that it just has the foot box. It's kind of how I use it, but